June 16th, 2006, a tournament in Germany. An 18-year-old boy comes off the bench. He has been at the World Cup for days, but has not played a single minute. His manager finally gives him his chance. And in the second half against Serbia and Montenegro, he receives the ball. He turns. He shoots. Goal. His first ever World Cup goal. The youngest Argentine to score at a World Cup at that point in history. His name is Lionel Messi, and nobody in that stadium on June 16th, 2006 could have imagined what that date would mean 20 years later. Fast forward exactly 20 years. June 16th, 2026, the same man, now 38 years old, now the greatest footballer who ever lived, now playing in his 6th and final World Cup, steps onto the pitch in a completely different world against Algeria and scores 3 goals, a hat trick, on exactly the same date. 20 years to the day. Not 20 years in one day. Not the week before, not the week after. June 16th. Exactly. The probability of this happening by chance is almost impossible to calculate. A player scores his first World Cup goal on a specific date, then exactly 20 years later on that same specific date, scores a hat trick at his final World Cup. Football produces coincidences every season, but very few feel as carefully written as this one, and the numbers go even deeper. That hat trick against Algeria moved Messi level with Miroslav Klose on 16 World Cup goals, the record he had been chasing for years, and it came during his 200th appearance for Argentina, his 200th cap, his first match at a 6th World Cup, his first ever World Cup hat trick, all on June 16th, all exactly 20 years after he scored for the first time in this tournament as a teenager who barely got off the bench. Think about what Messi knew walking onto that pitch. He knew this was his last World Cup. He knew the record was within reach. He knew the world was watching, and somewhere in the back of his mind, did he know what date it was? Did he remember June 16th, the day his World Cup story began, and the day his World Cup story reached its most extraordinary chapter? There is a version of the world where none of this happens, where Messi does not score that day in 2006, where his first goal comes a week later against a different team, where the date means nothing. But that is not the world we live in. We live in the world where a teenager scored for the first time on June 16, 2006, and became a legend on June 16, 2026, exactly 20 years later. Some people will tell you it is a coincidence, and maybe it is, but football has a way of writing stories that no novelist would dare to invent, because if you put this in a book, people would say it is too convenient, too perfect, too impossibly neat, and yet here it is, real, documented, permanent. Lionel Messi, June 16, 2006, first goal, 18 years old. Lionel Messi, June 16th, 2026, hat trick, final World Cup, greatest of all time, 20 years, same date, same tournament, different everything else. This is not just a football story. This is the kind of story that makes you believe that some things in sport are meant to happen, that certain players are meant for certain moments, that the universe occasionally decides to write something so perfect that all you can do is watch and remember exactly where you were on June 16th. Subscribe, because next week we tell you about the other moment from FIFA 2026 that nobody noticed but everyone should know.